Tom, Dick, I know you fellas going to work tonight, right?
Yeah, we have a show at Magic Mountain tonight, and we have to go. So we want to thank you for this opportunity to do the show.
Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you.
Dick, are you sure you want to go through with this?
Yep, man, I signed the papers, and you're going.
Well, I got to get my stuff together. I want to say thank you a lot, and
you better introduce somebody. You're going to be just alone, and you're no good alone.
Mr. Baseball is with us.
Hey.
Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker, who has a career in Major League Baseball second to none, and I mean that. He's now a broadcaster for the Milwaukee Brewers and one of the 3 announcers on Monday Night Baseball. Would you welcome Bob Uecker? Welcome back.
Gee, super show tonight.
Isn't this?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Good company tonight, but it's good to have you here.
Oh, it's good to be back again. It's been a long time.
I hear you on the Monday night games.
Yeah, I keep showing up. You know, they tell you to go to Philly or L.A., someplace, wherever they tell you to go, that's where I go.
Yeah.
You know? Doesn't matter what the game is. Who cares? You know?
Yeah. Did you, just where you go where they send you?
Well, after the game, I always thought was much more important than the game itself, you know?
Right.
Pound the streets a little bit.
See what's cooking.
Dig up a little action.
Yeah. Hey, when you were a kid, did you have a dream of being a Major League Baseball player? I mean, say someday I'm going to be playing in Yankee Stadium or...
I think every kid does. I think I didn't only want baseball. I wanted track and field, too, I guess. I think I was the youngest kid in Milwaukee to participate in a hammer throw. Manual training teacher. Zapped a ball peen hammer at him one day. No, but the javelin throw, I liked to throw the javelin when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And neighbors used to get upset about that, you know.
Of course.
They had a shingle house, it'd stick right in there. But the hammer throw, I threw a 16-pound hammer. I was 15 years old, freshman year in high school. I threw a 16-pound hammer. I was the youngest kid in Milwaukee to throw a 16-pound hammer. Yeah. And about 8 minutes later, I became the youngest kid to wear a truss in Milwaukee.
That was the same. Well, you shouldn't start too young with sports like that.
Yeah, it blows you up like this.
Yes, I know. Or you can't sit well, and were you injured like a lot of ball players? They always seem to retire because of injuries. The elbow goes or the legs go. Were you plagued by any injuries when you played at all?
I think for me it was more my hands than anything else.
Well, you were a catcher.
Yeah. You know, you go in a bar after a ball game and you're sitting there 3-4 hours popping a few, and sooner or later somebody's going to step on your hands, you know.
Never thought of that.
Infected earlobe. Makes your head lean over a little bit. You're vulnerable to the inside pitch, you know.
Right. You have to watch all this.
Take one up in the coconut once in a while.
Right. Did you ever do any commercials like the ball play? Now, that's a big lucrative business for ball players. They can make almost, you know, a top star can make almost as much on television, I understand, on commercials as he can from playing baseball.
I think the thing that aggravates me now about commercials, see Leo DeRocher, Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, doing that, the commercial for Jock, which years ago you couldn't talk about. You know, right. you couldn't say things like that. And Jockage was a problem. You know, when I played, it was a league rule you couldn't touch yourself. And, I think the guy that...
How do you fix your hat?
Well, you can't. You know, Amelia, Jockage is a... Our clubhouse guy used to... Oh, the The guy in the clubhouse is the guy that caused it. Like, if you didn't pay your dues on time or if you're a little late with a tip, like when they did your laundry,
Right.
Instead of rinsing the soap out, they'd leave the soap
Leave
in
the
there,
soap
you know?
in there.
Yeah, like the next day, you know, you start running around, you start sweating a little bit, man, I'm telling you.
That's
You know,
bad.
bubbles start coming out of your pants. The only thing, the one good thing about Jock itch that...
I mean, there's an attribute to
Oh, that
it?
worked for me. Worked for me. You get on first base, and like if you got a little jock itch, you know, which is it's nothing now, you know. When you get a little jock itch, and the first base coach comes over and throws a little alky on you, there ain't a catcher in the world throw you out stealing.
Gives you a pretty good jump, I guess, on the throw.
You wouldn't let me do that thing with the horse.
You, yeah.
You wouldn't let that film clip
Well,
be
that's on television.
And
They
we
talk
did 8
about it.
minutes on Jock itch. Are you?
They have commercials for it now on television.
I know. I did
For
terrible.
everything.
It's dreadful. That's really
We're
terrible.
going to take a short break here, and right now, McDonald's salutes the persistence and determination of America's youth. We're talking with Bob Uecker, announcer for the Milwaukee Braves, and on Monday Night Baseball. And although Bob is not in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and has been told not to even come near the state, as a matter of fact, well, you had some pretty good years, didn't you? You were a good catcher. How about hitting? Catchers usually are good hitters.
Sometimes, you know, hitting to me, you know, when it was always a slump, and you figure when the season's over, you know, the winter time, you figure you're going to get out of it, you know. But it always carried over through the winter into the next spring. You know, I go into spring training, man, right back in the sewer again, you know. But hitting, I don't know what it is about hitting, and I think maybe you go through things like this. I don't know, John or Mel. You know, when you're doing a gig one night, you a little nervous or uptight about it sometimes.
Sure.
Apprehensive.
Sure.
To me, hitting was like that. If I'd come up in a tough situation, you know, and to me it was always I always felt like I had to go to the bathroom or something. You know? And I mean, you know, when you're standing with the bat, if you stride, something might happen, and you know, you'd rather take the pitch than
Of course.
you know.
Right.
You know, you strike out, you go back to the stands, and I mean, you're walking by the stands, and you know, some guy hollers out, "You stink," you know. And you ain't got no argument, you know. Maybe you do. You know? It was something that you know, rather than be offensive to two other guys standing back there, I used to, you know, take a hike. You know what I mean?
Right. What was your batting average over
200.
the year? 200.
200 lifetime, a hard 200.
Home runs?
I banged 14 of them when I wanted to. You know, it was one of those deals.
Well,
If you want to hit a home run, you hit one. I laugh at guys now, you know, the guys hitting 300, 320. What do they got to look forward to next year, you know?
you wanted to kind of build. Huh?
Oh, you stay around 200, 201, 202, maybe 2 or 3 RBIs, you got something to shoot for the next year.
3 RBIs.
Did you have a school for a while for youngsters?
Yeah, I had I still got it, as a matter of
catchers,
fact.
young catchers?
Yeah, pass ball school. It's a school to show kids how to miss a ball without letting the people in the stands know you're missing it on purpose. And I'm talking about not a pitch out here or over here. I mean one right here to get that kid maneuverable enough where he can let it go. And maybe if the umpire is having a bad day, maybe to hit him right here.
Sportsmanship is the kind of the byword.
Oh, yeah, hey. We've branched out now into lacrosse, hockey, polo, and stickball, and then graduation day, we let them all play on one field, and whoever wins graduates.
That's wonderful school. We'll take a break.